guys, welcome back to the Unpopular Playground. Today we're going to continue on our talk about kitchen basics. And this topic I'm going to throw over to my partner Jen because she's the cook in the group. And she's going to talk about different methods and necessities that you need to cook or prep your food in.
All right. So I'm going to go over the things that my favorite things to cook with that's going to be easy for people that work. So first is the crock pot. The crock pot is your friend. It's easy prep. You can just have all of your things, throw it all into that pot, turn it on, and when you come home, you have a lovely meal to come to. Your house smells good. It smells like somebody's been cooking there all day just for you, and it's just setting yourself up for success. That's probably my number one go-to. The second is casserole dishes. Glass casserole dishes. There's many things that you can make one dish things in a casserole dish that you can prepare ahead of time. You can have it in the refrigerator. You get home, throw it in the oven, and pull it out, and meal, voila. 30 to 45 minutes later, your meal's done. And, so casserole and crock pot are your number one. But those are my number one things. And if you're going to bake as well, if you're going to put anything, quick foods on a sheet, I recommend lining it with aluminum foil so you don't have to clean it. Whether you're putting it in your toaster oven or a regular oven, line your things with aluminum foil so that, because things are bound to spill over, even whatever you cook that is required to put in the oven, have a cookie sheet underneath it, and then it'll catch it and you have
Right.
less to clean up with your oven, because once that's cooked, it's baked in there, makes it very hard to come off. So that's those are my number one things with that. Now, moving over to safety, we did talk about a lot of safety things in the last episode, but I think it's worth going over again. You can never overdo kitchen safety. So the first thing that I have is, think as you're cooking and prepping your food, clean versus contaminated spaces. So in your kitchen, have an area in your kitchen, like touching points. Like, I think actors have certain points that they have, remember certain lines they walk over. In your kitchen, a lot of kitchens have kitchen islands. That would be a clean spot, or maybe a contaminated spot. And then you have other areas that you never put contaminated things, you never put chicken on those things. So, just as you have with your cutting boards, and have those spaces with your counters, so that way you will not have take any chance in having contaminated things in your clean area, and vice versa. you know if you have those zones established in your kitchen, and educate people who come to cook with you about those contaminated and clean zones, you're going to be safe. You're not going to risk infection. That will dramatically lower your risk of infection. And that would include your raw meats, eggs, unwashed items. These are all invisible barriers that can be your line of defense. So, yeah, just clean zones versus contaminated zones. All right. So, Debbie, what are your thoughts on that? Establishing zones, clean versus contaminated.
Oh, I totally agree. I mean, you should have an area where you're doing your prep, and you should have an area, where you're actually doing the cooking in that. Now, my thing is years ago, if I think back, when I used to cook, I used to have, I had one section in my kitchen where I did all my prepping, but I'd prep one thing at a time, then wash the bowl and then go on to the next thing. So I'd have like a bunch of stuff that was ready to be cooked, but I was prepping only one thing at a time. And I just found that worked better for me. And on some of the things as far as like cookware, I would recommend go and get yourself like a reasonable priced set of pots and pans. You don't need a bunch. Usually just a pot, a saucepan, and a skillet, maybe a small one like for eggs or a bigger one for frying things. baking sheets, cookie sheets and that. Next thing, which I had mentioned earlier in another podcast, a 3-quart double boiler with a steamer insert, because you can use the two sections as separate pots, or you can use as a double boiler, and the steamer insert can be used as a colander or a steamer. So you're getting like four things out of this one uh,
One pot.
pot.
Yeah.
So it's like, you're saving. Also, a 1.5 quart saucepan with a lid. Those are good for like side dishes, like and your gravies and your sauces, just something small. Like I said, frying pans, a large and a small one. And the only thing that I ever would use nonstick would be a nonstick omelet pan, and just for eggs. The problem is a lot of times if you don't buy, they have such new cookware out there today, guys, that it's nonstick, but it doesn't have that coating. That coating, after years and years, they found, oh, it's not good for you. So probably we're all dying and having cancer because all that stuff that was
Right.
baked into our food. But now they have ones that, I mean, you can cook in them. And I have like the copper set, and literally you can cook,
I was
bake,
gonna say
fry,
that
and
copper
just
is supposed to be
wipe it
very.
right out. Yes, it is. It's very good. It just wipes right clean.
My
Um,
go-to is a cast iron
yeah,
skillet.
see,
Can't go wrong
that's
with it.
good,
I
but
love
I
it.
can't lift. I can't, with
Mm,
my arthritis, I can't lift cast iron, and those suckers are heavy. And when you got
right.
something
Yeah.
in those, I mean, they're heavy. So if you want to, it's good because it does get the iron into your food, so you're getting iron. But I'll tell you, they are heavy. And another thing, you're never supposed to wash those with soap and water. So they take a lot of care. You just kind of take a paper towel and you wipe them out in that, but you have to keep treating them because otherwise they're
Yeah, you have to
useless.
cure them before you use it.
Yes,
It's called
exactly.
curing, and
So if you're
they
not
have.
going to,
You can look them up on how to
yeah,
do
if
that.
you don't know how to take care of it, or if it's taking care of things is like too much for you,
Cast
just get,
iron wouldn't do it.
yeah, cast irons, no bueno. Now, for baking, I recommend like get a loaf pan, a pie pan, and a cupcake pan, and like 8 or 9 inch round or square pans. That's all you're going to need for baking. You want a
Yeah.
couple of cookie sheets and maybe an 8 by 12, a rectangle pan, for whatever you're going to use. Don't, and like I said, avoid coated pans as they're going to scratch the first time you use a knife. And it's nice you have these nice pots and pans, and then you go and somebody, oh, you make your lasagna, and somebody goes in and takes the knife and cuts into the knife, and it's like, well, there goes that lovely coated pan that you just paid a fortune for,
Right. Well,
because
the bread ones and the casserole dishes, I get glass for those.
yeah,
I use
yeah,
glass for
oh
those.
yeah,
Pyrex is probably the best
yeah,
of
yeah.
what I use.
Pyrex makes the best. I
Pyrex
mean, as
is
far as those Pyrex
amazing.
and Corningware.
There's for those Corningware and Pyrex. Yeah, even with your measuring stuff, they have the Pyrex measuring thing, so that
Yep.
for your liquid measuring things,
Mm-hmm.
and so and then I like the silicone measuring uh, cups for your dry things.
Right.
It's just yeah, just so much better. And then when you are doing your measurements for dry, I take in order to have it, if you have it and use a knife and scrape it, and then you have the accurate measurement. Otherwise,
Yeah.
just putting it in and dumping it in, you'll it recipes have amounts for a reason. I
Right.
that way. And just put too much or too little of something in it, or leave something out. You'll find out real quick um,
Yeah.
what a disaster that can be. So, and then if you're doing liquid measurements, the recommended is when you do it, don't look at it from above. What
No,
I
you look at it
Yeah, you have to
at the
look at
level. It
it.
has to be at a level.
If it's right there, your eye needs to be eye level with it
Right.
to do it. So that would be that. Yep. Uh, so that's it. What I had for the cookware, and then the
Okay.
4-step
I
wash.
also,
Oh,
well, hang
oh,
on one second. I also had, if you're going to do cookies and stuff like that, get a cookie sheet with a rack. Because that you can use, the rack you can use for like chicken wings. If you're making chicken wings and you put it in a pot, you can put the chicken wings on the rack so they're not
oh, yeah.
sitting in the pot, the pan itself, or like bacon strips. You can put the bacon on the rack inside of that. So that's a good thing to do. Um, I love a wok. I have a wok. I mean, I haven't used it in years, but good for stir fry. People that are really conscientious about eating healthy and that and want vegetables, a wok stir fry cooking, it's easy, it's quick, and it's healthy eating.
Yeah.
And like we said
Forgot
before
about
about
that, actually. I have a
about
wok.
yeah about your rice cooker, um, because a rice cooker will give you more precise cooking, and it also, when the rice is in there after it's done, it'll keep it warm. And the only other things I would say, like necessary for when you're preparing, you're going to need a good knife set. That's very important. Don't cheap out on your knives. Buy good knives; they'll last you forever.
Yes.
A set of steak knives, good ones, and also a set of silverware. And that, I
100%.
mean, depends on if it's just, a few people, you can do service for four, or service for eight. I always recommend get service for eight because somewhere down the road you're going to have people and you're going to lose things and whatever.
I was
So,
gonna say the same thing.
um,
If you have service for 8 on everything that you have
yeah.
for basic things, you don't need, you don't need to so much worry about, oh, a salad knife and a regular knife or whatever. Just get your basic fork, knife,
Yeah.
and spoon.
Knife,
Um,
fork, and two spoons and two
it
forks.
will
Yep.
be fine. And you if you want to be hoity-toity, you can get that way later. If you plan on becoming a master chef or something. But when you're just starting out, just worry about the basics, and those are it. Um,
Oh, one other thing that I'll mention that I used to use, get yourself a grease splatter cover. You know, when you're cooking, you're making like
oh,
chicken cutlets and you're frying your chicken cutlets,
yes.
and that grease is like, well, you get this, it's a screen. And when you're doing that, you can put the screen there, and as you're flipping it, it's not going to be all over your stove. But yet it can still, the air still gets in there. That's another good thing. It not only helps your food and your cooking, but it also protects you from getting grease burns.
Debbie, it's so funny. Every time I think that I've thought of everything, as you mentioned the grease thing, now you make me think of the little the little thing with a handle to press your food as it cooks, as it fries.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's a real good one to have too, especially if you want to
Yeah.
sear your food.
Right.
It's a lot better than just using a spatula.
Right.
And they sell those too. That's a nice little handy gadget that I use, especially if you're going to make hamburgers. It's really nice.
Yeah.
You can do that, and if you want to have those, make your own smash burgers at home,
Exactly.
and
But yeah,
get
other than what we've mentioned, there really, I mean, this is more information than I ever had when I left home and got my own place.
exactly. I do
Um,
have a few more things, Debbie, to
okay.
mention. uh, as far as that goes for kitchen safety and whatnot. Um, the 4-step wash cycle mentioned about non-negotiable cleaning rituals between every task, and I believe Debbie you touched on that with
Yes.
washing your hands, cleaning the cutting board, and if you have glass, it's going to be that much easier. You don't have to worry about it. Wood is probably the worst type of cutting board that you could ever have. So anyway, step 1, wash hands, clean your cutting board. Step 2, 3, sanitize your counter, and 4, wash your utensils. This habit
Exactly.
stops cross contamination. And and then if you have those clean safety zones, your contaminated clean safety zones, between those two things, your likelihood of being having food contamination is going to go down to pretty much zero. Um,
Correct.
and uh, and then master your food storage safety. We mentioned that the first in, first out, so that you're not getting sick off of ill food. And I know, Debbie, you mentioned about the cans when you're looking at the cans.
Uh huh.
Um, dented cans, I think,
Yes.
are okay. What you really
Uh,
want to look out for are the ones that bulge out. Those are the
yeah.
bones.
Well, I've
I mean,
never
you don't
been.
want to
Yeah.
have dented cans
Either.
generally,
Yeah.
but
Either or, dented or the bulging. Either one of them are not good
I mean,
because
I try not
somewhere
to.
air gets in there.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, I think if it's got, I mean, I think it. depends. If it's got like a little dent or something like that and you happen to have it, it's in your pantry. I mean, maybe put that in your first to eke out or whatever. But I was told
Right.
that the dental ones aren't, they're not dangerous to your life or whatever. I would not personally purchase dented cans,
No.
but if you happen, I mean, you're in the pantry, sometimes you drop some and they end up denting. Use those first. Would you agree with that?
Sure. I
Okay.
wouldn't buy it. I personally
I don't.
myself, I throw them away.
I don't.
I
I
throw them
don't
away.
buy. I don't buy dented cans at all. But it's the bulging ones that you especially. Those are the death cans. Those are the
Yeah.
ones that have botulism in them. Um, Set critical temperature benchmarks. Your danger zone is between 40 degrees and 140 degrees Fahrenheit. Um, you know, for is the danger zone, and it says stress that food should not sit in this temperature range for more than 2 hours. So, you know, you have a little gathering over at your house, or you're at somebody else's house, and you notice the food's been out and you don't know how long the food's been out.
Hmm.
Don't take a chance in eating it unless you ask somebody. Don't just, you want to know how long that food's been sitting out, because you could, if it's and it's shouldn't be eating it for an hour if it's over 90 degrees Fahrenheit. Um, this is crucial for leftovers, party platters, grocery trips, and preventing rapid bacterial growth. So you could be out shopping, getting your errands. You think it's just going to take one stop on the way, but if it's 90 degrees out and you got groceries in the back with things that are time sensitive, that
They're
food might not,
cooking.
yeah, might not be good by the time you get home. So, uh,
Exactly.
one thing that my grandma did was she had a cooler inside the car she would bring ice packs with her, so that way she would put her refrigerated food in the ice chest in her car, so that she wouldn't take a chance of having that defrost on the way home and things like that. So that's another way that you can keep safe with
Well,
that.
and they sell the insulated bags. Like Sam sells the insulated bags that you can put your whether it's hot foods, like you buy hot chicken, or if you're buying cold food, you can put it in there. And because it's insulated in that, yeah, it'll last while you're run into another store. But you got to use your head. You're not going to go out and buy ice cream at one store and then go to Walmart and spend 3 hours shopping around. I mean, you got to just
Exactly.
use your
But
head.
people don't think about that. People
I
don't
know,
think
but
about that.
basically,
So
grocery
you
shop should be your last thing. Grocery and home. That's it. Just remember, grocery, home,
grocery
and
home,
you'll never worry about
never
anything.
go wrong. We already talked about color coded cutting boards, so we don't need to really talk about that. Food safety arsenal in your sink. We talked about the fancy cleaners, diluted bleach solutions. Um, I think you can keep a spray bottle with diluted bleach solution as a sanitizer. Just get Lysol wipes. That'll probably be
Thank
easier
you.
for you. Um,
Thank you.
I
Then
know.
you know they're safe. They're bleached. They're safe.
Yep. Microfiber cloths are good also, but you got to be careful. You got to keep washing them. Can't just keep it in forever. You need to wash. If you're going to use cloth things, you need to have them recycle them out. You shouldn't
Right.
be having a microfiber cloth for like a week. Every day they need to be changed out. Or depending on what you're using it for, you don't keep using it, and also have those be separated. For are you using that microfiber on a contaminated surface or a clean surface? You
Right.
don't cross wipe. And then a no-go pantry zone. Never store uh, pantry foods under the sink with all your cleaning things.
Oh
Uh,
God.
not next to the stove or in direct sunlight. The heat and moisture and chemicals can degrade the packaging and accelerate spoilage long before the expiration date. But like I said, this stuff is, it's common sense to you and me, but
Right.
some people, I've seen some people try to put pantry things under the sink with their cleaning stuff.
Oh God.
Also, when you're shopping, and watch the cashier, make sure that they're not putting cleaning items with your produce.
Hmm.
Watch how your things are bagged, or you can go
That's
to the,
why I go to self-serve.
yeah, or you can bag it yourself,
Yep,
or
check
go to
out.
Winco where you can bag it yourself, or
Yeah.
but don't trust that other people are going to know how to bag your things or put your things away. Don't let other people come to your house to help you just put things wherever. That's why we're teaching you these things, friends, because if you don't know these things, you can they can be dangerous and make you sick or not alive. uh, One use towel rule. Banish sponges, damp, and reuse cloths altogether, I would say. Use
Yep.
disposable paper towels or a fresh, dedicated kitchen cloth for each major task, like I said before, if you want to do that. And toss them in the laundry right away. I
Yep.
would say sponges are not your friend. Don't, I wouldn't even use them. Perform the weekly safety scan. Make a quick list for your refrigerator, freezer temperatures. Make sure that they're the right temperature. Expired. Check for expired condiments because they can harbor mold, and then it destroys everything else. Um, and then your clean refrigerator doors, seals, sanitize high touch areas like drawer handles, faucets, appliance buttons. And because prevention is proactiveness. So if you just basically anywhere where you touch once a week, make sure, daily. I say daily, not once a week. Daily, make sure those things are wiped down after you finish cooking your meal. And that's all I have for this.
Well, I think we've covered everything there is to cover on this topic.
Yeah.
And um, basically, if anybody out there has questions, concerns, or says, oh, but you didn't mention this, what about this? Or is it okay if I do this? Or contact
Put it in
us.
the comments. Put it in the
Let us
comments.
know. The more you people interact with us, the more we can get information out to you. And actually, the better it's going to be for you to go from living at home to becoming an adult and out on your own. We've been there, we've done it. And at my
And
age, I've mastered and gotten over all the bumps that there are. So trust me.
and I have a few different ones as well because we have it's really neat, Debbie, because we have different experiences, and and I'm not a spring chicken either, but we have different ways of you don't cook a lot, I do, and we have different approaches on different things. So you have a couple different nice approaches, outlooks on how to approach these things, which I think
Exactly.
is a blessing, um, because I wish I would have known these things. I'm glad that I did have my grandma to teach me a lot, but there's a lot of people that don't. A lot of, I mean, some people have told me. I mean, you think about the kids that are maybe have never been taught these things growing up. Maybe they spent time in the juvenile hall system and they're just coming out,
Uh-huh.
um, and they want to live life, but they don't know how. Foster kids who've never probably had a chance to even be in a kitchen, have no idea what to do. Kids that have latchkey kids who have
Right.
parents that work all the time. And so I don't believe that we're putting the blame on parents or anything like that, but these things, home ec's been taken out of school, the
Right.
arts have been taken out of school. So these things aren't even being taught in school. So where are you going to get this information? And this
From
should all be common
us.
sense. You're going to get it from us. Exactly.
Unpopular Playground. And if you tune in to the next episode, Jen's going to take you on menu planning and cleanup.
Yes. So on that happy note, as you say, Debbie, we bid you
Stay
farewell
focused. We
and
bid you
stay
adieu.
curious.
See you next time.
Bye.
If you're all about staying curious and having fun, you're in the right place. Follow us here, the Unpopular Playground. Make sure to share this with your young adult and high school friends. Don't forget you can reach out to us direct on Insta at Unpopular Playground 1791 with your questions, or even just to say hi. Stay curious and see you next episode.